Okay. Are we here, chat? Are we live, chat? It's my first time doing this. Consider this more like a test. It says we're streaming on TikTok, and it says we're streaming on YouTube, so... Let's see if I can get my chat running. Okay, so it should be... this one? And then, yep. And then activate. See? Oh, it just does it. Doesn't do it portrait. It does it landscape mode. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I was wondering what it would pick, but I think that'll be okay. It's definitely my first time doing this like this. So let's see. Toggle all streams mute. I don't know about that. Okay, we'll just put this off to the side then. And I guess minimize. I guess I get paranoid that the chat's not working, so yeah, let me refresh this and see if it's going. Like I'll leave it up. I'll I'll leave it up because I'll do a whole stream and then I'll just be like, oh wow, and we were never live. It turns out we were never live. So hopefully that's the case, that we're fine. I have 2 chat things running. We're up to 2. So actually, let me see my things working. It has my most recent video. Okay. My stream deck will tell me. Sometimes it'll tell me the information. Let's see if I haven't logged onto it for a little while. It says disabled. Why? All right, there we go. Live stream. Nice. Live stream. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I don't have one for TikTok. I might have to get one for my stream deck. Okay. We're gonna hope, fingers crossed, that it's working. we're just gonna go with that.
Even though the core way is usable again, there is
I did just record a video,
construction work and rubble clearing needed.
but I do want to react to there's a new video that I spotted that I put in our Turtle Club chat. If you haven't joined the Discord, there's a Turtle Club chat. And so in it you can post regular stuff about WoW. It's about WoW single player future by Solso Breezy. I honestly did not watch Solso Breezy's like videos, but I'm liking his commentary a lot ever since I watched his housing video. So that is the react that we got queued up. And if you haven't already, do join our Discord because we have lots of like I plan on making this part of the stream where we basically go through the content that's there and we'll react to it live. Is the idea.
driven mad
I
by
will
the
say,
gods' whispers.
restream so
Thrall
far
believes that the elements warn him
running
of a disaster
tons
that
smoother
now all of Orgrimmar
than I
drinks the blood
had
of
expected it
N'Zoth,
initially.
twisting the horde into a
Because running two like streaming apps at once is just, it's not optimal. Now granted, like the whole like watermark thing, I'm not a big fan of, but other than that, I think it's okay. Other than that, I think it's fine. Can I see my own live? Is that a thing? Like if I just go to regular YouTube? A regular one. Do your channel. Let's try another way. Let's try another way. Run it up this way. Oh, it's just literally the chat. Okay. It is not showing me live. That is strange. Oh, I can click it. Okay. Maybe this will work. Let's see. Moment of truth. Yeah, it's there. It's real. It's real. And then TikTok, let's see. What do you mean couldn't go live? View live access? Hold up. This thing's lying to me. Yeah, no, it's there. We're live. We're here. I guess. Like, I don't know. Not all the bugs are in good order, okay? All right. We're gonna call it yes, and then that should be fine. All right, so we're gonna be running Burn Bridge, Daredevil, Dark Imagination, Nemesis, and Vengeance.
I have been expecting you.
Believe it or not, this is already We Go Again.
5, 4,
I went ahead and just did mountain runs.
2, 1.
And I was like, let me do a 5 mask. 5 mask didn't go so well. I feel a lot worse at Orgrimmar, but Orgrimmar feels easier. Is that crazy? Like, I feel like I just do worse. Even though I do better. I don't know. Even though I should do better, I'm performing poorly. Maybe it's because like I spent so much time learning on Stormwind. Now I've set myself up for failure. We gotta get that work done. There's gonna be a new video coming out. We're gonna make a new video, or I need to edit it still, but we're gonna be putting out a new video talking about the updated models. Can you guys believe that WoW's new character models have been out for over 10 years now? It'll be like 11 years soon. Was it green or was it? I'm pretty sure it was green. Pretty sure it was green. I always grab all of these. I don't know if it's ever like a good idea to grab every single one, but we do. We be doing that.
Champions, we've been needing your help. We be here just in time. My brothers and sisters in the Valley of Spirits be in danger.
It's Zakon. Is that Sparky Boy?
We got to kill that one first.
Did we already? Okay, there's the charge. I was like wondering where it was, honestly. Oh, okay. I don't know what causes that to be 270-70. I should probably figure that out.
Thus corrupted totems be driving our shaman mad with whispers.
Mad.
Zorotan must die. The blood of the Maghar is on his hands.
Absolutely mad.
The Maghar
Oh, I just realized I just turned chat away.
for their defiance.
Okay.
Their
Let's turn it that way. All right, walk
demand
between.
vengeance.
All right. What's the requirements for this area? Is it just killing the big guy up top? I've never actually tested. I think you gotta kill both. I think you gotta kill both the little tentacle guy and this guy.
Gammon will see you taste my axe. I will.
I am the backpedal master. What up? Okay, give me a second. Bro, I hate these tentacles. They're so time consuming. Alright, there we go.
No. What have they done to you?
Is there a way to avoid that leap he puts on you? No, I think you just take it. You just accept fate. Go. Oh, smash! Red? Is that the sanity one? It is. Alright, we're good. Nothing else. Alright, so no big boy yet, so you have to kill both. It has been determined. You just gotta stay calm. Stay calm, it's fine. Panicking is for later. Ugh. Always that. Comes up right when you need to move too. Never fails. Wow, that was a big hit to my sanity. Okay, what's over there? Of course. Mid jump. Nope, not green, not green, not green. Green is mean. We don't go with green. Okay. Oh, geez, you're still over there? All right, defeated enemies value wisdom.
Slay that monstrosity in the name of the Maghar!
Okay. This should charge us up, and then we'll pull it now. Dude sounds like a Murloc. That was awful. I want that to be known. Okay. Got me feeling a little claustrophobic here, fella.
My clan is
Dearest me.
and nothing I do will ever bring them back.
That's not... I did not mean to throw that. I meant the heroically. There's like totally different buttons. Way different buttons. It's fine. Alright, fella. Gammon. Oh, great. Perfect timing to get the running debuff. That's actually the fucking worst. I actually can't see.
Taste my axe. I will not. It cannot.
That was miserable. Okay, moving on. See, that's green. That's awful. No. Nothing over here, so let's just move on. Ooh, okay, blue. I'll take it. Okay. Try to ride this one out as long as I can. Do I check upstairs in the hopes that there's another... What is up with water? Oh my gosh. It's literally been the worst. Okay. Like I said, I just do poorly in this. Tried the one button PTR and it's amazing. Hey there, what's up? Is it Norsk? What's up, Norsk? Honestly, I have a lot of like thoughts about the one button, and from what I've seen, they've done a great job of making the one button seem very appealing, and like the punishment of it all not seem so bad. Because the only argument I've seen from the, I guess like the more hardcore level like players is that it's not going to ever make you parse. But I think a majority of people aren't parsing. Majority of people just want to do enough to where they're going to get invited to a group. So if you have a rating, I don't think people care. At least that's what I'm thinking in my head, but I may be wrong. I may be in the minority here. My name is Rufus, and this is the Trufus. I guess I would have preferred, like, thinking about it, though, I think I would have preferred a version of things where basically it was, here's one button rotation, but if you're just looking to improve your rotations, that's the way it is. Actually, I think that's the way it is. Like they suggest a button, right? So I guess it's okay. Like I guess since it's like it's like a suggest is an option, and then one button for if you really, really just want to do nothing. And face roll. So maybe in the end it's fine, and I'm being dramatic.
My brothers and sisters be free. But how can we ever
So maybe that's the case.
the elements again?
I think where I want to see the most, or I haven't seen a lot of yet, is like with tanks and heals. Like how much can it really know what you're supposed to do in those situations in response to like tank busters, etc. Like we're getting rid of add-ons that will allow you to predict what's going to happen in a boss fight, but simultaneously it's only within our add-on. So get our only use this feature, please.
Master's blood shall suffer.
What's up with these guys lasting so long, that last percentage of health? Jeez Louise.
I don't feel any pain unless I move.
Alright, what's this? Blue, okay. I feel like home, really the best gameplay experience I've had in years. No add-ons, no cooldown manager, all that gone. Clean UI, not sweating over buttons, but actually looking at the screen. I guess you could appreciate a little bit more of the visuals when you're not having to worry about it. I think what I hope for, ultimately, when single button is officially here, is I hope they go, hey, can we chill on trying to make the game harder? Like focusing on trying to make it harder for the add-on community. Now, will people try to find other sources to where they're still able to do those things? I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to fully ban it outright. I imagine since there are MMOs that done it, that they can, there's a way for them to fully ban it. But we'll see. We'll see their capabilities. We'll see what comes out of it. It's like I was humped for all my life, looking at my feet all the time, and now I straighten up and look forward. Yeah, it's kind of annoying when I've done boss fights and like my entire, I just look down. That's the best way for me to look at things nowadays. Not at anything else, not the design, not the true boss fights. I'm looking down because I need to look at my feet for circles. That is honestly the best way to play the game, and isn't that so irritating?
Check the tailoring shop and orphanage
So,
for survivors.
I don't think I'll ever use it, except for maybe like characters like I don't play. Like if I don't play casters typically. I like learning my stuff better, but okay. Yeah. Give me that crystal. I hate this spell so much. Could have interrupted it. That would have been easy too. Okay.
Engineering workshops. Careful around those explosives.
These circles following around is my least favorite thing about horrific visions. I had a lot of complaints about horrific visions, but this is my least favorite thing. Without the shadow of a doubt.
Taste my I will not fall.
Oh yeah.
It cannot.
Ooh, it's red. Red. Okay.
This isn't good.
Your screams shall echo in the Master's halls.
I got stuck. I hate this. 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 This is so dumb. I try to like play the system. I end up just killing myself here. This is poor. Yeah, it's dumb. Alright. I have a problem with melee specs. Doesn't matter how much time I spend with dummies. Once I get in a real fight, start dodging stuff, my damage is gone. Complete. One button solve this. No, I can understand that. I can get that for sure.
It seems that you are able to withstand the visions for longer than before.
For longer.
Each excursion prepares you
For longer.
the horrors of Nyalotha.
I think the main thing for me, like with melee specs, I like the idea of like being on the go and being mobile and jumping around and that kind of stuff. With toy box, I got some consolation prizes. Honestly, once you find out like what spells you can cast on the go as like a default, it's not so bad. Like because melee specs just don't have as much button bloat as casters. I swear my allergies are acting up. Acting up. But yeah, no, I think that I think honestly I'll probably try it out, like I said, for like casters and stuff like that, but beyond that, I don't think I will. Which is okay. I mean, it's not necessarily for me. It's just like with cooldown manager.
Even though
I kind of have one that is my cooldown manager. It just tells me when stuff, it's like, hey, this is off cooldown. Maybe I'll try theirs to be like, okay, now I don't have to use an add-on to do it. If I like it visually better, but we'll see. I'm not against it universally, just I'm against depending on it. Like going from an add-on to just depending on the same version for WoW.
Mad by N'Zoth's whispers.
I don't know if I'll be into that.
The elements warn him of a disaster that only the old
5,
god can
4,
prevent.
3,
Now
2,
all of
1.
Orgrimmar drinks the blood of N'Zoth.
Should I buff up?
twisting the
These
horde
buffs.
into a frenzied
Maybe that's
war
what I need.
machine.
Looking at your UI, hearing melee, I'm not that blooded with blends. hey. It's because I have old add-ons that I need to like, I need to honestly delete. Like I used this quasi bar for a little while when I was tanking, but I don't really use it for DPS. So don't count that. It's not real. I just like having these little sidebars too. So where is it? Oh no, I already grabbed it. We're good. It's blue. Blue gives you the flu. That's how I remember. Though I am a weak aura like user, so what do I know? What do I know about simple? I think back in the day, I was obsessed with like one button macros and stuff like that. I think back in the day, I could say that it was much like more of like simplicity. But when you're doing PvP, you have to have a bunch of different spells too.
Champions.
Whereas in PvE, you can have like one button rotations. Now that we're going back to that, maybe I need to go back to macros. Vengeance Demon Hunter. Vengeance Demon Hunter is for people who still write with crayon. And that's okay. Like I don't think it's a bad thing. Just and I started running. Will I ever play Vengeance Demon Hunter though? I don't think I will. I think I would try Monk. Like if I were to try a class that I didn't ever really like tried fully, I probably would do Monk. If I had to like, yes.
To drink the blood of N'Zoth and were slaughtered for their defiance.
I suppose, you know.
Spirits demand vengeance.
I think I need to reload. Look at that. Look at that mess that we narrowly avoided. What was it? Blue? Blue gives the flu? Oh, last time they just went and fought those guys. Let's get... Shit. He's big!
Taste my I will.
Alright. Are you with me? Alright, good, you didn't leave me. That was mean. That was rude. Let me out of here! Oh my god. My honest take on the buttons for almost all classes, we need at least 50% less buttons. I think Zaryu has always had a good opinion on this. His opinion has always been basically do more with less. Like add by subtracting, I think is his thing. And that to me is like is how you need to do it. Like there's no reason. Like, for example, if I'm applying a bleed, there's no reason that I need to constantly apply a bleed over and over again if it's already in my build to apply deep wounds. Like, just okay, no, you don't need to tap rend anymore. Not saying add more passive necessarily, but just sometimes you don't necessarily need a ability if it's sort of baked into your build for the most part. You're just tapping a button for the sake of like, okay, now I have these both on my abilities, so it's just silly. I think the other thing is like Cleave and Slam. Cleave and Slam is still part like and Whirlwind. To me, your ability should cleave when there's more than one. Ability should slam when there's one. So just make that one ability. Like it's just filler, you know? Like there's no reason that can't just be one. Like, oh, what? But situational awareness, you should pick the right ability. It's just like just less abilities. Who cares? Who cares?
There are battles to be won.
Who cares? Ain't nobody give a fuck.
No. What have they done to you?
Did I avoid it somehow? Because I was leaping? No. Not that cool, I guess. People want to like break line of sight or something, but I don't think that works here. All right, I need to reload. It keeps on my thing keeps on yelling at me. Like tank. Take DD monk. Guy has 11 buttons, and it's this is only the damage buttons going inside the 1 button rotation. And on top of that, you have all your cooldowns, trinkets, and so on. I've done the 4 to 5 buttons, so we won't even need rotation assist. Ooh, I don't know about 4 to 5. I think you should be able to achieve everything within like maybe like 10 to 15 buttons. That seems reasonable to me. Not to say there's 10 to 15 abilities though, but to say that there's
Even though the core way is usable
different sets of abilities depending on what content you're doing. Like if you're doing PvP, your skill set, your abilities you use are different, so 10 to 15 buttons there. That to me seems reasonable. I need to take allergy meds, y'all. I'm getting inflamed. It's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. It gets up like 10. I mean, I like to see something like that. I just we've done prunes before, and I think they were overall received well. I just think that WoW has this tendency to try to repeat themselves and then go right back to it. They're like, and that's why I'm worried about single button rotation. Is that WoW Blizzard has a tendency to, once they do something and people are like, oh, this is great, then they go, okay, so this is more room. We're gonna add just a few more abilities, okay? Or we're gonna now that it's single button rotation, we're gonna put a little bit here. It's like stop. Because I think what happens ultimately is you lose out on class identity. A lot of classes start to everyone starts to be good at everything, and no class is good at something and then weak at another thing. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing with sort of class identity. Red is dead. Remind me, guys. Remember me on that, okay? Remember me later on that. Oh yeah, I said I would reload, chat. Well, let me get this thing to stop chasing me. Okay. That's why we had to stop. But that's what I mean. It's like, I guess there's not necessarily a one size fits all type of mentality. I just think that sometimes, I don't know, the good comes early and then the bad comes later. And we truly won't know until it's released if we're gonna like it, but then we won't know truly if it's good until give it till another like major patch comes out. What happens then? What have they done since then to either improve upon it or to make it worse and it's offset by something else? the next raid comes out and it's like, oh wow, so basically we're doing single bot rotation, but these are now like mechanics are so difficult
Champions,
now that
needing your help.
now I have to use it. You know, otherwise I can't participate.
Me brothers and sisters in the Valley of Spirit being
So basically we swap. Now I can't do this without add-ons, where now it's now I can't do this at all. I feel like that's a everybody loses type of thing. Stuck. Always stuck on some random shit. Alright. Yeah, we will see how it goes. Nice to catch you streaming. You're offline on Twitch though. Have a good stream. Yeah, today we're not doing stream on Twitch today. I will try to do multi-streams with Twitch. I just wanted to do something exclusive to TikTok and YouTube. I've been doing a lot more TikTok streams, but I haven't been trying YouTube. And you guys have been really receptive to like on YouTube to stuff, so I was like, let me try doing TikTok and YouTube today, just like an exclusive for those things, and see how it goes. Like, see if it's something I want to regularly do, like have non-Twitch streams and then Twitch included streams. See where we're most receptive at. Maybe we can do YouTube and Twitch, you know. See what combination works the best. A lot of people have mentioned Kick, but I don't know if Kick is like how Kick is on or with WoW. So yeah, good catching up with you. Thank you for hanging out today. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Hope your week is good. Hope your vault is good. I swear this game has a vendetta against me. Booyah. Where, oh where? Don't even try it. Stop it. Let's take out these tentacles first. They're bugging me. That's not funny. That's not funny. I don't find that funny. What the hell? I swear. I didn't realize the water hazards in this were awful, but I seem to be running into every single one of them. Now they're in the water too. So annoying. Oh my god. My vault is long time cursed. That's valid. To be honest, I don't even shoot for vault anymore. I just kind of shoot for whatever I'm doing that week. I used to like be so concerned about filling my vault. Not no mores. Not no mores. Can I kill this tentacle? Like, please? Holy math. What is happening? What in the wazoo is this? Like, they're always standing in the center of just the pools. Just always there. Is it dead? Okay, it's dead. What's this? Purple? Does that trap me in here? Alright, we good? I swear to God. Alright, blue. Blue is flu. No, wait, we're on red is dead, aren't we? The fuck? Jesus. Alright, 100 sanity. That's funny. Ha 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 ha. Spawn right under my feet. So such well designed.
No. What have they done to you?
Like I have to move constantly, and yet simultaneously I can't stand still. I'm stuck in a corner. Like I don't even know how I got here. This is it's so fucking dumb. Okay, keep moving on. Purple liquid. Yeah, see, you love this? Don't you love this right here? Spawn in the sky. Wait, what? Do I have to kill this group? Is that the idea? Is that why? Look at this. Look at this mess. Yeah. Okay.
Slay that monstrosity in the name of the Maghar!
Not even gonna try to fill up during, because it's just... Look at this. Look at this. Okay. That's not funny. I don't think it's funny. What the fuck is even happening? Oh my god. Die, please. Fucking Gammon. Damn it, Gammon. Now's not the time.
Will ever bring them back.
Taste my axe. I will not fall. It cannot.
Thank you, Gammon. You always know how to liven my spirits. I appreciate it. Damn it. This guy. That was fun. That's funny. Alright. Kills until Nemesis spawns. Oh, I didn't even notice that before. So we need to minimize our kills then. I need to learn like the skips, you know, like how do I just skip some shitty mobs? See anything up here? Nothing. That's not funny. I'm literally on steps. Fucking stop. See, check it early. And aha, you have been hoodwinked. Okay. Now we avoid this. Okay. Any potions? Is it Red is dead? I think it's Red is dead. Damn it. Not the time. Fucking dumb fuck. Like the worst timing. Okay. dog. Follow me over here. Damn it. Why are you all the way over here? Do 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 do. Okay, okay.
Brothers and
Yeah.
sisters, be free.
Yeah.
How can we ever be trusting the voices of the elements again?
Okay. What do you think, Chad? Do you think this will last us the next boss? Or will we fudge it all up? Holy math. Okay, don't take that as an indicator, okay? We're doing fine. Okay. That wasn't funny. We are. Okay. Ooh, there's a crystal down there. I don't know. I don't know. It's risky.
Kill the orc and scour the crag. All who refuse the master's blood shall suffer.
Just trying to drag just some of these things away from me. I know it's a lot to ask of. Can we just stop shooting so many circles and beams at me? And you know what? This is the kind of stuff that makes me feel like Blizzard's not gonna get rid of this shit. Like, this is par for the course. This is working as intended. Can you come out here, buddy? I can't fight you in there. Dankeschön. I feel like I've gotten no potions this time around. What is happening? That was almost bad. I forgot to wake up the lady! It's my bad. Gosh, I'm getting every debuff on me. Hold on. I forgot to get her up.
Let's search
There
the
we go.
track for survivors. I'll conceal any we find while you keep the enemy at
Look, I've
bay.
seen no potions at all. Please.
There's a teleporter.
Ooh,
I'll
here we
see if
go.
there's anyone here.
Gimme. Okay.
Another casualty. Let's move along.
This one. Okay.
Check the tailoring shop and orphanage for survivors. I'll keep watch.
All the orphans.
I only accept the finest crafts.
Ooh, a perp. There we go. There's all my potions. Okay, another crystal. I shouldn't have walked directly through that, but I was worried it was going to be a different spell he was about to cast next. So I just kind of I beelined it.
More blocked off buildings. Check the leatherworking and engineering workshops. Careful around
No.
those explosives.
Oh, okay.
This isn't good.
I'm blocked off here. All right. Moment of truth. This time I'm doing it beforehand, not messing around. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Your screams shall echo in the Master's halls!
I don't like that that happened just now. That's so much sanity drain. That's so much sanity drain. I swear on my life! What is happening? Oh my god, I swear I'm prepping for it and it's always on the back of my fucking heels. Ugh. Terrible. Terrible.
We should be safe.
It's
now,
these
Captain.
circles, man.
Remain wary.
They make me delusional.
Everywhere.
You are but meat before Nazoth's endless army. And it is time
Alright.
to
Bro is gonna respawn. Ooh.
Gammon will save us.
That's just mean.
Taste my axe. I will not fall again.
Rude. Thanks. Fucking peachy. Bro, it's there's so many spawns! Jesus Christ! Stop! Please! Please! Can I get a fucking heal? Oh my god! Okay, I need a second. I can't. Ooh, yeah, of course you're spawning. Why wouldn't you respawn?
Our hive descends on Orgrimmar.
Ah! Right, that's right. Okay. Okay. Of course I get stunned. Why not?
Gammon
Okay, Gammon.
save us.
I would have preferred you came a little bit later, but it's fine.
I will not fall again. It cannot end like
Or it doesn't matter. I gotta use my last one anyways. Okay. All right. We gotta restore. Here we go.
Your flesh will feed my beasts, and your soul will feed Nazoth. Come, my pets. Serve your master. My beasts will devour you.
And I'm fucking dead. Holy shit, the sanity drain. God damn, there goes my whole bar. Fantastic. Fucking great. Couldn't see shit, but oh man. Oh. This shit wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. There's no way.
It seems that you are able to withstand the visions for longer than before. Each excursion prepares you for the horrors of Nyalotha.
Alright. I gotta take some allergy meds. My eyes are killing me. Be right back. Okay. close this for a bit. And seeing people do reacts this way. Let's see if Google. Would you think that's what I wanted, Discord? Copy link. There we go. This thing. All right, I'll still have you up, chat. I just want to pull
I
up
have more
this
than one
video.
question, but I'll kick it off. Hey, it's all. This is Warcraft Week.
Slow it down a bit. Okay. Let me go into this other scene real quick. Yeah. No, I thought I had one here. Never mind. I don't. That's where my allergy is gonna act up. I'm not gonna be able to do a video. Gosh. It's just so annoying. Oh my god. I don't know what's causing them to act up so bad. But they are going crazy right now. Maybe this one? Okay. Try this one maybe. Why did he say watch on YouTube? So weird.
Warcraft Weekly, and I have one question. Okay, I'm gonna have more than one question, but I'll kick it off with this one. How was your week? Right now, we're in the middle of the second.
It's like it's getting rid of my theater mode. Why? I think I have a pause video button here. Nope. Any pausers? Okay, fantastic. And then let me look at my YouTube buttons here. Two. Stats tracker, no. Do we need to get a new button? Let's see. Do I need to add a special button? Let's see. Oh. Okay. Okay. What's this? Oh no, we're fine. Oh, never mind. We're fine. Let's try YouTube. Ticker to statistics. Desktop. Let's see. All right, it says multimedia buttons. Spotify, OBS. Type in maybe pause. Nope. It's got to be a built-in. Media keys. Maybe? Maybe. Possibly. This might be the button. Get. The action, navigation, soundboard, system, maybe. All right, let's try it. Now let's try when I'm not selecting it. Works. Easy.
Hey, it's
All right. So this is a video by Solso Breezy talking about how WoW has entered its single player era. Honestly, I feel like the single player era is both a good and bad thing for WoW. I think currently in this, like the current state of WoW, I don't think it's all bad. I think that it leads down a path to where it is detrimental if you only go in that direct direction. It seems like with Delves and how it seemed like the whole game was going to be about it, and then now doesn't seem like it is. It seemed like I might be wrong. It seems like it might truly be that, you know, that we're not having to worry about them being solely focused on one aspect. But let's see what he says about it.
Soul. This is Warcraft Weekly, and I have one question. Okay, I'm gonna have more than one question, but I'll kick it off with this one. How was your week? Right now, we're in the middle of the second half of the later half of the season, and we're mentally juggling a few things. horrific visions rotated from one stage to another, and I'm gonna talk more on that in just a few moments, but I've definitely noticed a drop-off in the rhetoric surrounding the time gating of things. It's probably because, well, you know, it's here now, but I'm also observing people.
At the same time, though, can we really be like, oh, the rhetoric has dropped down, like people must have not have cared about it, or it really must have not have been as big of a problem as people thought, when it's just like, well, it's here, it's literally here, so what are we gonna do? It's not like they're gonna swap it, it's not like they're gonna change it. Like Blizzard has very much in the past, I don't know, this past expansion, like this whole expansion, have very much taken on the mentality of not that if it's not broke, don't fix it, but if it is broke, let's move on, and hopefully next time we'll do better. The whole cliche of we hear you, we're listening, and we'll do better is just it's been basically the motto of this whole entire expansion. So I don't think the rhetoric has necessarily dropped down. It's like, what else are we to do? What else are we to do to like make a change in this case? I don't really think there's much, if I'm being totally truthful. So I mean, I get it though.
Reacting to visions now that it's on our plate of things to do, as opposed to a lot of us like analyzing and theory crafting player behavior due to the announcements, you know, the news around visions from months back. But anyway, with this going on, next week we get to experience a different sort of event, Dastardly Duos, also releasing in stages as we wrap up this patch and move into the next one, bringing us more story and new delve things to do, another leveling event, and more. But it'll be easy enough to handle once we can, you know, play with just one button. Back to Dastardly Duos though, we have some very pleasant news that the feature can be taken on solo. At first this was announced to be a group-centric activity, and there's nothing wrong with that really. I bet it's gonna be super fun to see gamers fight for the really high score, but now I'm very interested in checking this event out, knowing I don't have to like wrangle guildmates together on some set schedule on an off-raid night. In case you haven't looked into it, here's how it works. Starting next week, we can queue up for Dastardly Duos with 1 to 5 players over in our main capital city or in Dornicle. We'll be taken to a green room of sorts where we can pick up some zany powers to help us through, and then we can enter available matches, and more will be introduced as the weeks go by. The gameplay isn't something I can speak to, I didn't have time to test it out myself, but it looks like it's going to play very arcadey, like there's going to be a challenge.
It's seeming like we're kind of going down a path where filler content is doing a lot of things that aren't vertically progressing like your gameplay, or vertically progressing like your experience, or even your alt experience. It's just, how can we expedite this for players in a different way? It's not necessarily the solo thing. I'm actually glad that you can do these things solo. I don't want to bother with, honestly, with having to have a dedicated secondary player. I would love to where it was a little bit more intuitive in that way, but just right now, queuing with other people isn't always just intuitive naturally. So I'm okay with it. I guess for me, it's just the lack of excitement. I think players don't even care. I honestly think players don't care about what's coming out. They're just like, does it progress me in a new way? No. Okay. Or yes, does it do anything new for me overall? No. It's just you can gear up your characters in a different way. So that's what I'm not a fan of, and I think it needs to be fixed. But I think I'm alone in
flavor
caring, because most people say, oh, you just hate solo gameplay,
and thus multiple boss mechanics overlapping on top of each other, and it's going to be a real hoot for those who've never fought some of these bosses before. But for the most part, it's going to be more about, you know, picking up crazy power-ups and trying out builds and loadouts and smashing for a high score and cosmetics and achievements. I think it's less of like a win-lose sort of situation, more like a win or win more kind of thing. So now all of a sudden I'm feeling more interested in what this group or solo event has to offer in this multi-course meal that is 1115. And that's kind of what I want to get into in the heart of today's weekly solo content's rise in the World of Warcraft. I want you to take a step back with me and look at the WoW of today versus like any previous time in WoW's history. Today, there's a lot of World of Warcraft that can be experienced without any other human players. It's endgame max level content, and it's not just group content you can do.
This is so miserable. Like with the spawning of these, it's so miserable. Like it annoys me so much. There definitely has been a rise in solo gameplay, and I think that it has a lot of positive aspects. I don't think that you're gonna convince players. I think just players have changed to where you're going to be like, why are we catering to the solo players? It's an MMO. I don't think players care enough right now to where they want to see content that's outside of solo. They want to see it. They want to see
on your own because, you know, there is that. But in the case of Delves, it's almost an experience built for the solo player first. That can be, you know, done in a group as well. Think of all the things we can do on our own during this season, from the outdoor zone content to Delves. Right now there's horrific visions, and next week there's going to be dastardly duos, and way later, player housing is going to introduce a new style of gameplay not seen in World of Warcraft before. This kind of freeform expression, not unlike painting or building with Legos. It's a step away from combat and more like the evolution of collection. We'll soon be able to make creations out of our imaginations, and mark my words, we're going to see some awesome things that we never thought we'd expect. And it's mostly solo content with social options in this persistent world. World of Warcraft is more solo friendly than ever before, and understandably, not everyone's a fan of that. There's always going to be that long-standing sentiment that the MMORPG genre should be all about more or less forced multiplayer, that the best rewards and the most fun things are done with friends and building relationships, and that.
I'm usually not on the side of the buildup of vitriol of the masses. I don't really necessarily care for it or validate it at all, but it's getting kind of annoying that content creators are starting to spit the same nonsense of people who want more social aspects and multiplayer aspects over solo play are the toxic ones. This is how it comes off. It comes off as like, oh, you're providing content for this, we're so upset by it. It's like, no, we don't mind solo gameplay. I think Delves is a perfect example of something that's enjoyable for solo players, but it can also be done in a group and it's enjoyable. So I think that there's good parts to solo gameplay, but it's frustrating that even content creators now are starting to just kind of parrot the same sentiments as like the WoW subreddit of like, solo players are just trying to live. Why are you hating on us, multiplayer? That's not what it is at all.
Sense of camaraderie. While in its early days, it reflected that sentiment, and still, it was much more accessible compared to other MMOs in its generation. It was already trying to appeal to a more casual audience. Back in those days, the idea of soloing was limited to leveling and professions and seeing how well you can kite elites and dungeon mobs. Options were limited and epics were epics, all behind that social gate. Obviously, that definition of casual audience has changed over the years, not just WoW players, but gamers and, you know, the rest of the world too. Like, where were you back during the Bush administration when gaming's hottest things were Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and, there's a PlayStation Portable? Those of us who've been hooked to this game for over a generation, hey, we got older, our commitments grew. Our reflexes and willingness to stay up super late, not so much. Throughout WoW's past 20 years, the game has been trying to guess the right moves and playing catch up to the times. So that's meant more accessibility, more options for those of us who can't handle those really big 40-man groups, which went down to like 25 and 10, and then 20 and flat.
There's another thing as well. If I were to say The thing that shouldn't annoy me as a feature that I've been annoyed about in recent WoW is the constant need for to go, hey, it's accessible. Yes, content should be accessible in that anybody could play it. The game should make it easy enough to where you can learn it without outside help or guides and stuff like that. But that's not what WoW is doing. They're going, basically, everybody gets free stuff. Everybody gets easy access. Everybody gets quick leveling. Everyone can get some form of raid gear. You know, it's accessible in the sense that it's given, it's free. And that's not what accessibility is, or I guess should be. I don't want to say is. Yeah, it definitely is should be. I get so annoyed by hearing just this constant like praising the accessibility of WoW. It's like, do you realize the majority of the accessibility that players definitely have needed the most is the one thing they're not working on, and that is the amount of times that you have to go outside the game for additional help just to do the things in the game that they've designed you to want to do. I understand having guides, like I don't have a problem with there being the existence of guides, but so often they're demanded, if not mandatory, in order to do things properly. Like you have to have a guide. It's like, to me, it's so asinine that that's what we're focusing on. We're like, this is what WoW needs. Is like, we need to focus on accessibility. It's like, okay, so what are we doing truly? Well, we're gonna give you a route to get gear, super easy peasy. Okay.
And then 5-mans for dungeons, and now this solo seasonal endgame. And time is a soup. Let's throw classic in there for a crazy mix to bring players back to familiar times. It was when we could start queuing up for PvE content like dungeons and raids did the conversations really start picking up steam that WoW is starting to feel like a single player game. The community's ruined. Server identity is dead.
Y'all say my videos are negative. It's this kind of shit that's like, it's so performative. It's so annoying. Like, to me, it's just so basic. It's so tired. And it's new. It feels so new at the same time. This is like a new thing of the most recent expansion, the push to make things solo. But what has been even more an issue, in my opinion, is the need for solo players to go, it's all the multiplayer players' fault. Like, what? It's so weird thing to focus on. It's frustrating.
WoW is going on console and anyone can play with just one button. Everyone treats each other like a disposable, faceless pug. Players were encouraged to think only for their well-being because, hey, you never run into the same people twice anymore. And we talk about this a lot. It's one part problem, one part consequence of today's everything, because this isn't isolated to just WoW. We should keep having conversations and be open with our feedback on the game's direction because we all come from these different points of.
I think WoW's in a unique situation, though. I think that you could say like there's other games that deal with the same issue, but there's not many games that are dealing with this. Like, it's red. How did I not remember? There's not a lot of games that are also dealing with this. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think WoW's in kind of a very particular situation where its player base is both set in its ways and wanting change. So I wouldn't say necessarily that WoW is like other games in that fashion.
The view. For many years, WoW's devs have been letting the pug world cultivate, where gamers can treat the game like a single-player experience, and your fellow players are kind of just random factors that help or hurt your chances of clearing that raid or timing that key. But we've been seeing a shift, especially in recent years. Blizzard is targeting what I would say its most underserved audience, the bona fide solo player. Now, this is different from the folks out there who might have main character syndrome, who treat their fellow players like less than people. I'm talking about gamers who love the World of Warcraft. They like knowing they're part of this persistent world, but they stop short of the interplayer activity because Maybe they've always been solo, or their circumstances or preferences have changed. It's none of our business, but it's very clear by now Blizzard wants to break that old sentiment of what an MMORPG should be, innovating where they can and catching up where they need to. The World Soul Saga is this very ambitious milestone achievement that makes one wonder, what's on the other side of it? Is there going to be another saga? Is there going to be a World of Warcraft 2? Or is it just another one of Blizzard's experiments before trying something new? But we don't have to wait for the end of that to see huge changes. They're happening now. World of Warcraft has been changing in big strides ever since Shadowlands. For better or worse, everyone's getting more opportunities to have for themselves an adventure, an experience, a gameplay loop of facing a challenge, building themselves up to overcome it, and winning. The 2004 version of MMOs, it's not a dead genre. WoW Classic is still a thing that'll continue to be supported. Other old MMOs are still alive and thriving, and to call that audience a niche is reductive at best. But what about the 2025 version of MMOs? My opinion, WoW's been positioning itself to try to represent that, where you can find equally satisfying experiences with friends or strangers, or all on your own. But do you agree?
What are we trying to say here? Like, what are we attempting to say? Like, I honestly thought this was gonna have more of a point. I don't feel like this really has a point. Like, yeah, WoW has implemented more things that appeal to social, like to solo players, but most of the things that he's mentioned is like of no consequence of like what comes with that. I think there's a lot of pause negative things that come from solo play, but what do we do about it? like what are we doing about it? I feel like he's not really saying anything.
I'd like to hear your thoughts. Since today's weekly is geared towards solo players, I want to share a bit. And a word of warning that this is not going to be me coming at you like a commentator being, you know, kind of both sidesy, but a gamer, just like you, with preferences and likes.
No,
and
you've kind of picked your side. You kind
like
of
all of you, I have many facets to my playstyle in World of Warcraft, and I'd like to take some time to put a spotlight on players.
And
like
it's okay. I mean, we're all old.
To certain personal challenges in this or in other games. So a while back, when Horrific Visions were first introduced with the roadmap, I was freaking ecstatic because I really enjoyed this sort of roguelike gameplay that we don't really see in World of Warcraft. And I knew right away one of the big changes was definitely going to be the removal of keys to enter, meaning I could treat this like a roguelike. I can keep crashing against this over and over until I won. Most importantly, I get a lot of enjoyment from giving myself a personal challenge and was looking forward to how it would be presented here. Like with the Mage Tower, I was determined to beat the tank challenge with my main before the Tomb of Sargeras raid even released, which would have given me more item level upgrades and more throughput to beat it. But no, I wanted to do it beforehand, and I did. It was really satisfying. The Jailer's Gauntlet was a bit more arcadey, but I still wanted to conquer that as soon as possible. I also wanted to down Zekfir and the Underpin straight away. It took a bit longer than I'd like, but hey, it still felt great to beat them. There was, of course, the original Horrific Visions being a great solo challenge for its time despite its many flaws, so for it to come back, naturally I thought it would be a great personal accomplishment to clear it as soon as possible. But I want to be clear, anyone else who completed these kinds of challenges later in the season...
Okay, so I mean, I can see what you're saying, you know, like, with solo gameplay becomes like, I guess, self-motivated challenge, in that solo gameplay introduces a lot of, you can establish your own personal goals as opposed to the game always defining what you have to do and what you need to enjoy. It becomes a lot more self-defined. Whenever we're focusing on transmog is a perfect example, because transmog is something that you're under no obligation or need to do, but you can set goals for yourself to, like, say, get a certain amount of transmogs or a certain amount of completion or achievement completion, title completion, mount completion, whatever your personal thing is. That's fine. I think that's okay. However, We are an MMO. However, MMO, like
or the expansion, you should be just as proud for those achievements too. You know, these are all personal points of pride for us that don't need to be compared. Now, it's not lost on me that this is, you know, this is very like 1% behavior, and not unlike what I'd see from folks who like lock in to get Keystone Master or greater in the first week of a season. The difference really here is that this is me talking about solo accomplishments. I've been saying that when it comes to time-gated or delayed releases of content, I hear you, I believe you, but for some people, and I'm one of them, this rollout of Visions is almost designed for my kind of playstyle because I could clear the field of other
for old people. For old people with jobs. Yep. It's the way it is. I mean, it's just how it is. It's okay. I will say I was a little bit more harsh on the time gating of it. I understand it a bit more now that, you know, like the timing of it wasn't so bad that it was unbearable. I guess the only thing I didn't like about, I guess you'd say, is the time gating is the delayed release of it. The play and the swapping of the weeks and stuff like that, it wasn't so bad. But the delayed release was just dumb.
Their obligations before dedicating myself to this fleeting moment in time. And the time gating that I know some of you hate, it gives this opportunity to test my capabilities. Like if everything was just left open and I can choose which map I want to run at will, you know, naturally I'd focus on powering myself up first and maxing everything out and then slam it all in one sitting if I could get away with it. Now I know for many of you, that's not the point. It's not about whether you can do it in one day and then scream, where's the content? But many gamers simply don't like feeling that restriction, you know, that arbitrary gating. They feel like the game hasn't been truly released until everything's available. But I also think to myself, it's like 2 extra resets. Apart from the principle, I personally don't feel a significant impact that irreparably harms this as a feature. It doesn't hit the same if I were to like instead artificially restrict myself, as in not take up talents and brag about it later.
I was gonna say, like, what are you trying to say here? One group believes this, one group believes that, and what? What about it? Oh, okay. In my opinion, one group believes this, one group believes that. To me, you need to define the line. You need to go, well, we're creating content that is available to people always. So that'll be the motto from our content from now on. Everything will be delayed releases. Everyone will get a chance to experience it. And if you miss out, or we're going to try to avoid FOMO at all costs. Like if that's their new principle that they're now saying, okay, this is now what we're going to adopt as like our strategy, then that's a way moving forward. That's a way that I think is reasonable and understandable, that I think that players would appreciate. Like, hey, at least you're defining it, you know? You're not saying, hey, do your undermine cartel chips, but if you miss a week, you know, that it is what it is. Basically, everything is accessible always, and there's not necessarily windows that you're creating things in. But in reality, I think what's happening is now we're just getting our accessibility windows, our opportunities seem to always be blocked off by, you gotta join now before it's too late, otherwise you're gonna miss out on this and it's not gonna come back. And then you get 2 groups of people who go, I like that I was able to get this content in these mounts, this content completed in this window. I enjoyed that a lot. And you know, if you missed out, now I get to show off. But it seems like instead it's like, if you don't do this one, there's a next one. And so say you miss the first one and you get the second one, the guy who did the first one and doesn't feel like doing the second one because they really committed to doing the first one. It's like this constant revolving door of content that is accessible, but time gated in a way to where it's not enjoyable, or you get this sort of exhaustion. It's content fatigue at a certain point. I know that word's being thrown around a lot, but I feel like it's content fatigue.
Later, again, it's that sense of pride with working with what the game has given me at that time and winning despite the shortcomings. For those of you who've been watching me for a while and are familiar with my tanking style, you see this on full display. Like, I have this very distinct and weird sense of fulfillment. And for all the energy and rhetoric put into railing against the Vision schedule, hey, we're going to be over the hump in just a few days if the analysts are right. Visions are going to be fully opened up outside of the map rotation, and I'm going to have this fun story to tell of beating the hardest version of Visions before that. And yeah, I know I did it as a paladin tank. Don't take that away from me, okay? Anyway, putting my commentator hat back on, it's the cool and unfortunate thing about a game like World of Warcraft that the audience is so diverse and may have preferences that seem so unpopular and contradictory to fun. I just wanted to put a spotlight on players who fully embrace those sorts of opportunities, imperfect as it is. That diversity is what urges.
In a way, you're right. I mean, I imagine that's like WoW's golden child is the player who sees content and they're just like, everything's great. It's all good. It's just so enjoyable. You know, everything is fine. I don't know. Maybe just a desire to to always be. I don't want to be, what's the word? Contrarian. I don't want to be contrarian. But at the same time, it's just like, should we all strive to be that? Is that the idea? We should all strive to just appreciate what we can get and never ask for more. You're lucky you got this, I guess. When you know, a long time ago, we accepted what we could get and we made the most of it. But now it just seems like they're always trying to just satisfy so many different needs. It's like, okay, pick what you want. There's so many things. It's like, okay. It's how about you just provide the content and then we'll decide with what we're going to do with it. And a lot of people will tell you, like, well, you don't have to do content you don't want to. But at the same time, there's so much FOMO still, I think, involved. It's not, I don't think it's ever going to be that way. Where it's totally, fully freedom choice.
The devs to keep trying different things that might sound like a waste of dev time and resources, because there is no 50% of players love this one cool thing. Actually, I'm willing to take a guess that there is something 50% of players do like, though, and it's leveling characters very fast, which is why we've been seeing these kinds of events come back each season. Compared to Visions, given how long it's been since Battle for Azeroth, you know, maybe 5 years to bring something back is an okay enough.
I think it's a good conversation to have. Why create so many iterations of these type of events? Like, why does it exist? I personally think it's you know, renewing subs, you know, keeping people's subs up and active. If you missed one past leveling event or something like that, you're likely to hit the next, you know, something like that. Like, hey, like, we don't have retention mechanics, but we have events that bait people into the game. Like, you can't, if you can't create a through line of amount of players if we're constantly having influxes, and then anytime we have outpourings of players, it's outweighed by the number of times that we just getting players in. So we don't care about retaining them. We just want to get them in the game and then they pay the 30-day fee. You know, like you can't pay daily. So you just got to get them in once. Get them in for one event. You have them for at least a month. And if they forget about their subscription, then you got them for however long it takes them for to resubscribe. So maybe it's just some sort of financial model and that's to blame. But to me, that's what it feels like more than anything. It doesn't feel like an establishment of freedom of choice. It's more of like, let's make sure that we're keeping the influx important. So that's the way it feels. Anyways.
Wait, and that's the show. So it's going to be weird that because the vision maps rotate, Orgrimmar is sort of cemented as the hardest horrific vision revisited map, because next week I'll have more perks than I did in Orgrimmar. So hey, for the horde. But you know, I guess that's also one of those 1% comments, right? But still, I can't help but wonder if certain feedback from Visions is going to inform Blizzard how they continue developing Delves in the future. In just a few short weeks, we're going to see a small addition to Delves. I'm just hoping for something a bit more substantial for Delves in the future. I know I wouldn't mind a feature sort of similar to activating masks in Visions, you know, not just to scale enemy health and damage, but to also add some risky or fun affixes, mostly for bragging rights or a pathetic bonus of Gilded Crest or something. But I also wouldn't mind if future Delves took a good look at the follower system and revamped it in such a way that, hey, maybe we can choose among a selection of followers based on just superficial.
How about how like all companions like terrible? They're either like Bran is either overpowered or it's just awful. Oh, purple is my negative sanity this round. That was a mistake. So yeah, how about how it's like it's just awful, or it's semi okay. So it's ridiculous. There's no middle ground. So that's what I would prefer. Please and thank you. Is there a way to avoid this leap, man? This leap has been absolutely so dumb.
Preferences, and for the most part, gave them all the same abilities and specs and what have you. So it could be like the Dragonsail Expedition, it could be Chromie, or it could be our Order Hall bodyguards, or our people in our warband, or even Pokepoke, that little murder bot, right? So anyway, let's wrap things up and give a hearty thanks to the folks watching on stream. Y'all were putting up with a bunch of vision runs and failures, and I hope watching gave you guys some tips on what not to do. A big thanks to our fellow patrons, and we can't forget about you, viewer. You made it to the end. You fed the algorithm, and I'm grateful. Next week is going to feel a little bit stacked with Dastardly Duos and the Stormwind Horrific Visions knockout. It should be fun, but also digestible, since duos have their own rollout schedule to not make it feel so overwhelming, aka GER time gating, right? So anyway, please like the video, subscribe for more WoW coverage, catch me live.
Yeah, I understand a lot of the points where he's coming from. I've not been a fan how the conversation has evolved from what are the possible consequences of solo gameplay on a game like that's an MMO? Is it going to make group content uninhabitable? Is pug content now going to be not just the norm for some people, but going to be the standard? When you're creating communities, you're trying to create communities surrounding the housing idea. What does solo gameplay affect that housing community's growth and possibilities within those communities? Are they only going to exist within certain content creators or certain large guilds which are already doing RP and already communicating in social? Is it what are the possible detriments? It's evolved or moved on from that conversation, and instead multiplayer player bad, and they always hate on solo player just trying to live life. We have 2 kids, 3 jobs, and we're on our 4th marriage. Like, come on. Like, why are we? It truly has flip-flopped to being like, I would honestly agree. Sometimes multiplayer players can be a bit overbearing as far as what they imagine WoW to be or to have been all these years ago into nowadays. But at the same time, like, we're just going in the opposite direction. We're going from one side of the argument being bad to now everybody who doesn't do solo play is just wasting their time. Like I can't believe I can't get the best gear. I'm a solo player and I used to do mythics. I won't do those again. Why can't we just do our separate thing like equally without such like vitriol towards the other thing? And I think the conversation needs to go back to what it used to be, because it's just annoying now. It's childish now. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the page while you're at it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Such a weird stance to have. I don't know. It just seems lazy to me. Seems lazy. All right. That's it for me, guys. My eyes are killing me. My allergies are killing me. But I appreciate you guys watching. And we will keep on trying this multi-streaming thing. All right. Peace.